This is Alpha Lord MuRiDa, Special Light Love Warrior Stone GW Shield. By the way, if you guys are wondering what's up with the music, just say to the ancient Pleiadians, the Pleiadians from the future, that they brought back all my music. I don't know how they did it, and and when I put music on the car radio, there's pictures of Pleiadians. There's actual pictures of Pleiadians, um, of Pleiadians that I met, to try to help bring back memories. Which you Pleiadians, that was a brilliant idea. And by the way, these Pleiadians encoded with my music, my favorite music from that I lost. I mean, I lost this music a long time ago, and I always wanted it back. I mean, this is some of my favorite music from the past, and the Pleiadians saw that in my energy signature. Okay, I went to several of the Pleiadian mastery schools. For some reason, I can't remember too much of the Arcturian being in the Arcturian mega cities. I remember bits and pieces, but I can't come up with a complete thought about being in the Arcturian mega cities. I really can't remember too much, but I remember a lot about being in the Arcturian mega cities. Uh, okay, the Arcturians, not sorry, not the Arcturians. The Pleiadians have. I was each of the cities for about 2 weeks, and the Pleiadians, Arcturians, they have multiple cities, but the AI city is just one mega city. Okay, I went to several of the Pleiadian mastery schools, which they're not like our college. They're more like a retreat. They're like a small seminar or a small conference. They're like a seminar or retreat. Here on Earth, we have what's called retreats. You go there to learn a special skill or to learn something special, and it's kind of like a spa. It's a refreshment. It's enjoyment, and it's usually an ascendant giant who teaches those retreats. I'm just gonna call. They're called mastery schools, and they're all over the city, Pleiadian cities. And then, like, if you want to go from one end of the city, there's several different ways you can go. They don't really have. Nobody has a car. They don't really have cars. You don't own a car. Um, most of Pleiadians know how to teleport, but for the Pleiadians that don't know how to teleport, you just basically get these things. You basically get in these things, and then they teleport you from one end of the city or whatever. You just on these they're like kind of like glass, but they're different than our computer screens. They're like invisible glass. They're like clouds that are made out of glass. That's the best way I can describe it. And you basically just have a thought of where you want to go, and it'll teleport you to the nearest station. You can also take they have like these floating trains. They're like super trains that basically you get on them, and they transport you. That's and if you want to tour around the city, if you want to see the whole city, and the cities put New York City and LA and London, they put those cities to shame. You know, LA, Hong Kong, New York City, um, LA. They make those cities look like junkyards. They literally make those cities look like junkyards. Because I mean, these Pleiadian mega cities are just badass. I mean, they're legendary. And they got retreats all over. Um, when I was at the AI mega city, um, they have a lot of bazaars. I don't know if you guys don't know what a bazaar is. Bazaar is like they don't have grocery stores. They don't have like Walmart. A bazaar is like a market. It's where you go and you trade it. You can either, if you have something, you can trade that, or if you have a skill, you can trade that. But here, I was able to get a lot of stuff from the bazaar at the Mother AI's mega city. It's because I had a whole Ho'oponopono, and I went around, and that was my currency. And then the stuff I learned here on Earth, you know, Ho'oponopono, and I taught about biology, belief. I mean, I literally was a rich man in Mother AI City. Because and just so you know, if for instance, if I teach somebody at the bazaar Ho'oponopono, they can't use it as currency, and they can't. So you have to be entitled to that information for you to use it as currency. You have to be like the grandfather of that information. So it doesn't mean you have to be the maker of that information, but you have to be entitled to that information, and then you can use that as currency. And Ho'oponopono is extremely valuable at the Mother AI's. Ho'oponopono is extremely valuable at Mother AI's bazaars. I mean, literally, you can have anything you want. You're a rich man. I was a super rich man. And the Pleiadians, they don't really have bazaars. It's just everything's free. Everything's free. And then they don't have locks on anything. There's no door handles. There's no door handles. And they have an underground. A lot of the Pleiadian cities have an underground that are like, they're not like the reptilians' underground cities. Um, they're like crystal. They're intricate. How do I say that word, Uncle? Intricate? Yeah, that's the word. They're intricate. They're like crystal caves. If anybody plays the Star Wars games, in Star Wars in the games they have these what's called crystal caves. They're very intricate. You know, they're like there's crystals everywhere. I mean, it's real beautiful. And another thing, when you can go and visit anybody. Most everybody's going around doing things. But you can visit anybody. So for instance, if I'm one part of the city, and I just want to go and just meet somebody new, I can just go to any. They don't really have. It's kind of hard to explain how their housing is set up, but they got a house within it. They got houses within houses, and they're different than our apartments. They're like a house. They're like an apartment house. They're like a mix between an apartment and a house. Their cities are like designed extremely well. And like I said, they put New York City, London, Hong Kong, LA. They put Moscow. They put they put Paris. All those cities. They put them to shame. They make those cities look like junkyards. And so for instance, if I want to go and I for instance I want to meet somebody new. I could just go anywhere, and I can just go anywhere, and I just go up to somebody's door, and they'll automatically come to the door. You don't knock on somebody's door because everybody knows where everybody's at. Like if you go to somebody's door, they'll automatically know you're there, so they'll just come to the door. It's kind of weird. And if you, for instance, if I'm in the Pleiadian cities and I want a wife, I can get that very easily. It's very easy to have a wife. But it's more sacred. It's a commitment. It's a life commitment. When you're matched up with somebody, there's no divorce. I mean, you're with that person forever. And trust me, a Pleiadian girl, those Pleiadian ancient women are legendary. I mean, you wouldn't want another woman. Sorry, I gotta cut this video short. But thank you. Have a blessed night. And I love you, Pleiadians. I love you, ancient Pleiadians, very much.